So what's the gold standard of exercise, of fitness? How do you know what to do to get fittest and strongest in the fastest way possible so that you can go and do all the things that you want to do? Is it sport? Is it running? Is it swimming? Is it strength training? Now, in my gym, we have all of those. I've got a cross trainer, I've got a treadmill, I've got strength training equipment, I've got a boxing bag, and I live in a place where I can go running up hills, I can run in soft sand, I can go hiking, I can go biking, I can go rock climbing, I can go skiing, I can go water skiing. I'm sharing all of that with you because they're all activities. And is it possible that we get a little bit confused between exercise and movement? What is fitness? How do you describe what being fit is? And so if I say to you, if you're fit, how do you know that you're fit? If you're strong, how do you know that you're strong? And what's the best way to get fit and what's the best way to get strong? If you threw that out to a robot, an AI, an exercise professional, a doctor, a sports person, a coach, an exercise professional, you'll get all sorts of different answers. So how do you know what's going to be best for you? Because a lot of those answers will be contradicting, because a lot of people will say running's better than swimming, bike riding's better than punching, you should do strength training, you don't need to do strength training. There's a whole heap of argument about what's best for you and your body. So how do you know? So here's some really simple basics to consider. I've been an exercise professional all of my life, and my only goal has been for people to be healthy, fit and strong. So there's two things that I always ask there. Well, technically there's three. One is, how do I get people fit? How do I get people strong? But how do I fit it into their lifestyle so they can keep doing it for the rest of their life? And could that be different for everybody? So is there one set answer for those three questions, or is it different? So again, to consider, and I always ask this, it's my begging position, if you study the human body, and you've got to live in it, you've got to live in your body for the rest of your life, so why not study how it works so that you can get the best out of it? So how do I get fit and how do I get strong? There's some very simple basic understandings for what that means. So we'll start with, I like to start with strength, because you can't get fit if you're not really strong. You've got to have strong muscles, strong bones, ligaments, tendons and joints so that you can push your body really hard to get really fit. So how do you get strong? And there's a really cool thing to consider. Can muscles count, and can they see? Or are they unable to count and they're blind? So if that's true, they can't count and they're blind, which of course muscles can't count and they can't see what you're doing, does it matter how many you do or what you do to overload your muscles? How do they actually get strong? And the word is in the overload. If you force your body to do something that it can't do, if you push it out of its comfort zone, it has to adapt. For the muscles, bones, ligaments, tendons and joints, if you push them, put them under pressure, they have to get stronger. So literally, there's a beautiful endocrine muscle system, it's called a myokine system, where the muscle literally sends a message back to the brain to say, we were overloaded, we need to be better for next time. That myokine system also sends messages to the other muscles surrounding the muscles that have been used, and to all the organs around that have been used to say, we were overloaded, we need to be better for next time. There's no counting involved there, it's just, we were pushed, we need to get better. So the three questions I always ask about strength training: how long does it take? Because the longer it takes, the less likely people are to do it. Is it safe? Because if you get injured, you can't do anything. And would I work at half an effort, 3/4 of an effort, or should I put in 100% effort? Well, muscles can't count, so all you need to do is push your body till it can't do any more, which is 100% effort. I can't go harder than 100%. When people say I'll put in 110 or 120, it's not possible. There's just this one measurement of 100% effort. So if you go till you can't do any more, and it's safe so you can't hurt yourself, and then you give your body time to recover so that you can go at 100% effort again, it's pretty simple. Then, do you break the body into little pieces? Why? Because everything we do, hiking, biking, skiing, rock climbing, dancing, having a baby, everything is all, you use every part of your body to do all of those things. So when you want to get stronger, strength training, why would you break your body into little pieces when the whole body always works together? So technically there's really only, you can push, you can pull, and you can lower your body down to the ground. But if you pick something up off the ground, which means you're pulling that thing up off the ground with your upper body, but you're also lifting with your legs, there's really not that many exercises that you need to do. So to get strong, I just need to work at 100% effort, do as many as I possibly can. And how many is that? Well, once I get out of the phosphate system, which is why you need to understand the entire human body, not just the skeletal system or the muscular system or the cardiovascular system. If you understand complete body systems, the energy for those come from either the phosphate system, the lactate system, or the aerobic system. We live in the aerobic system, so if we exercise there, we're never overloading because we live there all the time. If you work in the lactate system, you can work there. That's anywhere between 10 seconds to about 2 to 3 minutes. But there's some things that go on there. You get a burning sensation in your muscles, which most people don't like. And for some people, that means they feel sick. It's called the green zone because they feel like they want to throw up. So if I want to get somebody really strong, I don't want to train them where they're going to feel sick or their muscles are burning. So I want to train them at 100% effort to get 100% result, which is the phosphate system. That's the fight and flight system. And it's only 10 seconds. So rather than how many should I lift, how about this? How many can you do in 10 seconds? If you can do more, or if you can keep going past 10 seconds, obviously the weight's too light. So that's how simple getting strong is. Pick 1, 2, 3, maximum 3 exercises. And you probably only need to do one, which is lift something heavy up off the ground. Do it safely so you don't get injured. Make sure it's heavy from the start, so you're putting your body under stress at the start, so you're in that phosphate system. So lift heavy, no more than 10 seconds, and then wait for your body to recover. And that could be depending on your stress levels, your energy levels, how much sleep you get, what kind of nutrition you're putting into your body, how long that takes. And the harder you work, the longer it takes to recover. People think, oh, I'm getting stronger when I lift heavy things. No, we're getting weaker when we lift heavy things because we're breaking down muscle tissue. That needs to recover. So to wrap all of that up, 1, 2, 3, maximum 3 exercises. 10 seconds of each exercise. Do as many as you possibly can in the 10 seconds. If you can do more, then you need to put the weight up next time. And then give your body time to recover. That makes you stronger. How do you know that you're getting stronger? This is such a simple answer. I can lift more. If you can't lift more, it doesn't matter if you can do more repetitions, go more times a week. It's not about variety. Oh, I can do 27 different exercises and I can do them 5 days a week. No. Are you getting stronger? Strength training just means I've gotten stronger. So if I could lift 10 and now I can lift 15 and then I can lift 20 and then I can lift 30, I've gotten stronger. Pretty easy to find out if you're getting stronger. So when you're really strong, every ligament, tendon, muscle, joint in your body is strong. Now you can work at 100% effort to get fit. And fitness is really simple. Again, what's your resting heart rate? Because the fitter you are, the less times your heart has to beat for you to live. So if you've got a low resting heart rate, that's a pretty good sign that you're fit. If you've got a high resting heart rate, that's a pretty good sign that you need to work on your fitness. But the test for that is, what is your resting heart rate? So you need to find out what that is. So how many times does my heart beat in 1 minute? And there's all different, everybody's different, and we've all got different ages and genders, etc. But if you've got a resting heart rate anywhere between, say, 40 and 60, that's pretty bloody good. So you've got a low resting heart rate. Now, to test how fit you are, take your heart to maximum effort. So put in 100% effort, which will take about 10 seconds. Get as puffed as you possibly can so you can't breathe. So your heart rate's now at 150, 160, 170, 180, 200, 220, as hard as you can possibly go. And then how long does it take you to recover from that back to your resting? So if you get your heart rate up to 180 and your resting heart rate is 50 and it takes you a minute to get back to 50, now just measure that. Next time, does it take a minute again, or does it take 55 seconds, or does it take 40 seconds? The time it takes you to recover from maximum heart rate back to resting will tell you how fit you are. And as you get fitter and fitter, that time frame will get shorter and shorter. That's why there's elite athletes that can go really hard, sprint, get their breath back and go again. The reverse of that, if you watch 100-meter sprint races, 200-meter sprint races, where that is the 100% effort races, they will never have, at the elite level, have a race, a quarterfinal, semi-final, final on the same day. They always give their body time to recover. Muscular recovery and endocrine system recovery, which is your hormones, they require, particularly your endocrine system and your central nervous system, because if they're not recovered, you can't fire those muscles effectively. So to wrap all of that up, it's pretty bloody simple, and this is why I get so excited. Lift heavy to get strong and do it in a short period of time so you don't get injured, and do it safely so you don't get injured. And it's only maximum 3 exercises. To get fit, you've got to get puffed. Your body doesn't know what you're doing to get puffed. So whether you do that by running or cross training or dancing or martial arts or sport or running up a hill or running through soft sand or kicking or punching, doesn't matter. As long as you go to 100% effort. Now you test, how long does it take me to recover from 100% effort back to my resting heart rate? And that shows that I'm getting fitter. And this is where it gets really exciting. If you are a martial artist, if you are a marathon runner, an Ironman, a kickboxing champion, a wild... in New Zealand, we have these wild races where they go through the bushes and they kayak and they run up hills and they go for very long distances. When you're really fit and when you're really strong, you can go and do all those things. If you want to do a 5-day bike ride in New Zealand, there's some beautiful places to bike and there's some beautiful places to hike. But when you're really fit and when you're really strong, now you can go. The last one is this. If you're going to do an endurance race, for example, people say to me, I've got to have a base level of fitness. How about be as fit as you possibly can and as strong as you possibly can so that you know that you can go and do it? And this is my question for that. If you get to the start line of any race, but let's say it's an endurance race, whether it's a marathon or an Ironman or a wild bush race through New Zealand, if you're on the start line and you know that you have a very low resting heart rate and you recover very quickly from maximum heart rate, so you know that you're really fit. And if you know that you're as strong as you can possibly be, so you've been getting progressively stronger, you've got strong muscles, bones, ligaments, tendons and joints, because you can lift very heavy weight. Now you know that your body's really strong, it can deal with all the pressure and stress that's going to come from that endurance race. My next question is, how much of an endurance race is physical and how much is mental? If you're really fit and really strong and you're on the start line, you know that you're fit enough to do it, you know that you're strong enough to do it, what is the rest? And I share that from a very personal experience. I've run a lot of marathon races, 42.2 kilometres. Knowing that I'm really fit, knowing that I'm really strong, the rest is mental. And there's lots of times during a marathon race, for example, where you think to yourself, I can't do it, it's too hard, I'm tired, whatever. But because you're physically strong, because your body is fit, now the rest is mental. So all you've got to do is make a commitment. The gun goes off, I start, I don't stop until I cross the finish line. For me, that was the best advice ever given for marathon running. Could that be a great advice for life? Start living today, wake up in the morning and go. And then you don't stop until you've done all the stuff that you need to do and you go peacefully to sleep, re-energize during the night and then get up in the morning ready to go. Any race you want to do, any sport you want to do, go at 100%, do everything you need to do for that race or that sporting event or that life experience. Go at 100% effort and really enjoy it, then recover and go again. Be fit, be strong. Do it safely so you don't get hurt. Do it short so that you don't get overuse injuries. And I'll just do that as a particular side note. If you're training for an endurance event and you do this, through every joint in your body, whether it's on a bike or you're running or you're swimming, every time you put pressure through the joint, if you do it a lot of times, you're going to get an overuse injury because over and over causes injury. But if you're really strong and you don't do lots of over and over, and this is a really interesting question, how many people arrive at the start of an endurance event and they're tired from all the training they've been doing? They're tired because they've been running too much. They're tired because they've been swimming and biking too much. Their muscles are tired, their muscles are weak because they've been overloading and overusing without enough recovery. So how about arrive at everything that you do, whether it's a sporting event, an athletic event, life itself. How about arrive at 100% ready to go, fit, strong, healthy, and now your mental toughness will take you through. And the beautiful thing about being fit and strong is that you'll be mentally tough as well. Because if you push at 100% effort, if you lift at 100% effort, if you get puffed at 100% effort, your muscles send a message back to your brain to say we need to be stronger for next time. So your brain gets stronger. You produce brain-derived neurotropic factor, which is fertilizer for your brain. So your brain now works better. Dopamine, serotonin, adrenaline, epinephrine, and then all the things that get you faster for next time. So your muscles, your bones, your ligaments, your tendons, your joints, your heart, your lungs, your immune system, your digestive system, your cardiovascular and respiratory system, everything works better because you have gotten fitter and stronger. You've got BDNF in your brain, which is fertilizer for your brain and everything else in your body. It's pretty simple. Get strong, lift heavy, get puffed, get fit. be mentally tough, and both of those will help you be mentally tough. And then you can do all the things in your life that you want to do, especially live your life to the max. That's gold. Woo!